He could cry like Jimmy Swaggart could cry. Oh, yeah. He got down there, he got to study. How many here knows that sometimes we're trying to type ourselves after the wrong one? What we need to do is look more like Christ. What we need to do is do more like Christ. We need to lay hands on the sick like Jesus did. We need to get acquainted with some sorrows. And we need to get acquainted with some poverty. We need to get acquainted with the fire. That when we come through, God says, let your faith be tried as fire. It'll come forth as gold. Oh, somebody help me, please. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. He said, I've done that for 6 weeks. He said, one day, I got down there praying. He said, God, please speak to me. This is my warranty. And he said, the voice come through and said, this is who? He said, my warranty. He said, oh, I thought you were Jimmy Swaggart. I don't want God to get me mixed up with Dave.
Amen.
And I don't want Dave to get mixed up with me. Amen. I don't want to get me mixed up with Brother Lawson and Brother Lawson to get mixed up with me. Come on, church. I want to come to Jesus just like I am. Lord, you mold me. Lord, you make me. Lord, you do with me what you would have me do. To open up the door at the church. God, you make me the best door opener that there ever was. If I'm going to be the sweeper in the house of God, then you make me the sweeper. I'm not here to try to be like somebody else. I'm here to let you do with me what you want. You mold it, you make it, and I'll walk out a vessel that God can use, and I'll do my job. Amen. What is your job? Your job is to let God mold you. Let God make you. He'll make you what He wants you to be. Gotta hurry. See, the Bible says all sin comes short of the glory of God. Romans 3:23. The Bible says we all must give an account to God. Romans 14, verse 12. We all are subject to temptation. Come on, church. Look over at somebody and say, I've been born again. And whisper to them and say, but I haven't arrived yet. Somebody get a hold of that. I've been born again. What's been happening? Well, I was in that clay field over there. You see, the potter had a clay field, and that's where he put up his house. He put up his house right there at the clay field. He doesn't have to go very far to find the clay. Oh, somebody help me. He doesn't have to go very far. You don't have to go across the parking lot, and you can find somebody that needs to be molded a little bit. Come on, church. You don't have to go far from the God's house. You don't have to go halfway around the world. You can find right here what God's doing. If you'll just be the clay. Lord, here's the clay. Mold me in thy way. Pick me up. You don't got to go halfway around the world to find me, God. I'm right here. I've been waiting this field for you. Amen. And he picks this clay up. It's been in all this other clay. If he would have, put his hand down a degree to the right or left, he would have missed me. Because I was in sin, and everybody around me was in sin. Everybody was born into sin. But then when he reached down his hand for me, when he reached way down for me, when he stuck his hand down into the clay, I might have not been on the top. I might have been so far into sin that I was on the bottom of it. But when he reached his hand down for me, oh, somebody help me. When I was studying, I was lost and undone. Without Jesus, without God and His Son, I was lost and undone. But He reached out His hand for me. He picked me up out of the miry clay. Oh, somebody help me. I was drowning in sin. I was going down. But God's got to work for you, preacher. You don't know it, but God's going to use you. Praise the Lord. And He picks me up. And He puts me on the wheel. And He starts molding me. I know that when he put me on his wheel, Brother Lawson, I was tough. I was clay. He probably had to go get a pick and reach down there and get me because I had to be pried loose. I was deep in sin. But when he picked me up and he put me on that wheel, he started mixing some water in there. Oh, somebody help me. By the washing of the water, by the word. Oh, somebody help me. He started sprinkling a little bit of water on me. Oh, Lord Jesus. I sometimes feel like everything was going wrong, and I'd start crying over anything. Water just come out of me all over the place. He was saturating my soul. I was crying in tears. There was something other causing me, and he kept just turning the wheel. Oh, somebody help me. He just kept turning the wheel. A little piece would fall off here. A little piece would fall off there, but his hands would keep squeezing me. Oh, somebody help me. He kept squeezing me. He's molding me. He's making me. I'm in the Father's hands. Amen. And he's squeezing life into me. And he's squeezing the death out of me. And the more he squeezes, the tighter it gets. Come on now. Second week I was in church. 3 of them Christians stuck their tongues out of me. I almost fell off the table. Come on. One of them come over and told me, said, "Get up, you're sitting in my seat." Oh God, what kind of church am I in? I'm ready to get on another table. And I'm looking at these vessels, they ain't been through the fire yet. I can tell that, but I didn't know it did. And they don't see what God's doing, the potential. No, you don't see. And I got up there and sang one song. I can only know one song anyway. I just knew one song. Got up there and sang that one song. And this good Christian woman, friend of mine, found out that that's the only song I knew. So she got up there every week and sang my song for audience. I almost fell off the table. You don't understand. God's molding me. He's squeezing the death out of me. He's squeezing the death out of me. It isn't easy on this table. It's not easy letting God mold me and what I want to be, what He wants me to be. It's not what I want. It's what He wants. It's no longer I that lives, but it's Christ that lives within me. I've got to let Him take the world out and put more Jesus in. I've got to let Him come along and take all the bitterness, all the pain, all the suffering, all the things of trying to get into where that I'm all time in competition. I don't have to be in competition with nobody because God has made me what He wants me to be. But Lord, it was hurting on that table. And He got me all fixed. I look pretty. I look just like Him. He had me looking just like He did. And He took me off the wheel. And He set me down over here with all these other puppets. And I looked around at them and I said, I'm doing pretty good. Brother Lawson, he called me into the ministry. I said, wow, God is loving me, and I'm loving God. I'd go to the ministers' conventions. They'd all stand up there and some of them say, I've been in the church for 40 years. And man, you should have heard some of the seniority that was coming out of them preachers' mouths.